Okay. My name is Gordon Murray. I'm the managing director of a company called Industrial Info Resources. Our headquarters is in Houston, Texas, and we have been around since 1983. Currently, we have 18 different offices around the world, including Japan, Korea, several in China, Southeast Asia, Australia, Europe, Middle East, and South America as well as several offices in the United States. So our company specializes in finding hard-to-find information about projects and plants for several different industries, including oil and gas, power, chemical processing, metals and minerals, and others as well, including pharmaceutical, biotech, food and beverage, industrial manufacturing, pulp, paper, and wood. So mostly heavy industrial stuff we cover.
Thank you. There are concerns that the coronavirus fallout could be worse than 2008 financial crisis. What do you think about current economic climate?
Several things about that. Firstly, in my opinion, it's not just the coronavirus that's causing problems. So we have, on the one hand, we have the coronavirus, and that stops people from traveling. It stops people from doing what they would normally do on a day-to-day basis. So obviously, that's one thing that causes problems. There's another thing that people don't often talk about in the shadow of the coronavirus, and that's the problem at the moment that OPEC has with Russia. So Russia are continuing to produce a lot of oil. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, has always practiced pricing controls, and that's led to a bit of a conflict between OPEC, so Saudi Arabia side, and Russia. And that's causing, one of the things that's causing a massive drop in oil prices, And so these two things combined can cause some problems, I think, in the near future.
Okay. Do you think there is a high possibility of a global recession?
Yes, I do think there's a high possibility of a global recession. So at the moment, we can see a lot of the economies around the world responding to what they're anticipating by reducing the interest rate. So, for instance, the USA at the moment is nearly zero. Australia is nearly zero. Japan has always been nearly zero as well. So we can see these things as a direct response to those two things I mentioned before. So the effects of the coronavirus and also the effect of lower prices of oil. So these are two things that could lead to recessions in the future, absolutely.
Could you share any more information regarding your opinion, like besides the oil prices?
We can see that things like the catering industry, so restaurants and bars and so on, have been largely shut down or very limited. Things such as regular things to do with industry have been somewhat delayed, partly because of the coronavirus, partly to do with uncertainty about the future, about the near future, partly to do with the price of oil as well. A lot of projects are being put on hold or cancelled or shifted from one location to another. So these things combined means that we can anticipate that we'll see a period of negative growth for I'm not quite sure how long. So that's something that could well happen, yes.
Because of the coronavirus outbreak, the outlook of industries such as auto manufacturing, semiconductor, refinery, and petrochemical industries in Korea does not seem good. Can you explain your thoughts for each industry?
Obviously, if the general public fears the future, they won't make a big purchase such as a car straight away. We can also say the same type of thing with things like semiconductors as well. People won't be purchasing electronics if they feel that there's some sort of immediate problem on the horizon. With petrochemicals as well, that could be affected mostly by the price of oil, I would say. And with all of these industries as well, the companies themselves, of course, would be uncertain about the future. So they might put off expenditure for projects by several months or years even, or just put them on hold indefinitely.
It is estimated that the impact of coronavirus will vary among Korean companies. Would you explain who has opportunities and who doesn't?
Okay, good question. The most obvious types of companies that would face immediate problems would be directly consumer-facing companies. So anything to do with the entertainment industry, catering industry, tourism, that type of thing. They're obviously going to face short-term problems, as will, transportation of, things like airlines and things like that. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned automotive industry. To most individuals would be fairly expensive items, such as a new car. That type of thing might also face some short to medium-term problems, in my opinion. Yeah, durable goods, so things such as, refrigerators and things like that, that could be another issue. And companies that probably will go along as normal will be just typical day-to-day things that we all need. We all need to consume things such as, food and so on to survive, of course. There are other companies that might do okay out of this, and I think that one aspect of the coronavirus could influence us would be the way that people work. More and more people are working from home. Remote work is becoming more common. Companies that can adapt to that, so information technology companies and anything to do with that, companies that can adapt to that type of environment of home work might find some opportunities out of this.
It seems that you're concerned about oil industries and prices currently, and I have a question. How would you explain oil industries and prices to move in the future?
Well, we're very close to the absolute bottom right now in terms of oil pricing. Putin himself, a few days ago, so the president of Russia, said that it was very comfortable to have oil at around about $25 a barrel, that they would still draw some profit from that. So for WTI crude, we're currently under that. We're at $20 a barrel. So obviously the Russians and the Saudis and the Americans and basically everybody else know that they can't continue to have things so low. So I would expect that you'd see that the price of oil will go up again fairly soon.
Thank you for the interview today. We are expecting to meet you more often if you're okay with that.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.